people have been eliminated over the last couple of days, as you all know. And as a result, especially when Damian Lillard got eliminated last night, several calls have come their way. You got a lot of teams, about 6 or 7 different teams, believe they can get their hands on them. They think they've got a shot. One of them includes the Knicks, who's scheduled to have about $75 million in cap space, along with some picks, but also the Clippers, the Miami Heat, and who knows what the Lakers may try to do. Stay tuned. The Damian Lillard news could ultimately be percolating a little bit sooner than later, much to my surprise.
The Clippers are still playing.
And the Clippers are still playing.
Just want y'all to know that. New York. All right, Stephen A., let's get back to Anthony Davis. Great information, though. I'm glad you got that in there. Really interesting stuff. How does AD look today?
He doesn't look bad in terms of his willingness to go out there last night, rather. Everybody knows he was hurt. A matter of fact, the person taking a little bit of heat from it was Frank Vogel, because you could see on the first play of the game that Anthony Davis was grimacing. You saw it. First play of the game. And CP3 instantly saw it, being the killer that he is. CP3 and had everybody on Phoenix. If you go back, and Kendrick Perkins saw this, if you go back and watch the first few plays of the game, everybody that Anthony Davis was guarding touched the ball, because they were trying to get him up out of there, because they could see that he just could not go, okay? And Frank Vogel, for some reason, kept him in for 5 minutes when he should have been out in 1. Having said all of that, feeling the pressure, he went out there and tried to play. And it was right for him to try. You know, I felt he should have tried. Charles Barkley called them street clothes, felt he should have tried, along with various others. And that much is true. But in the end, I would say he looks good because of that. But here's why he doesn't look great. Because he's perpetually injured. And when you have a teammate who's the superstar, who's 36 years of age in his 18th season, well documented that he spends more than $1.5 million every year taking care of his body. Everybody's looking at Anthony Davis because of the multitude of injuries he suffered from. And they're saying, what the hell are you doing with your body? How much work do you really put in the off season? How much do you train? How much do you get in that gym? What are your eating habits like? They're starting to bring stuff like that up because he's always hurt.
Anthony Davis looks good this morning. We look bad. We look bad. He looks good. First of all, Charles Barkley did call him street clothes. I called him Mr. Glass. Stephen A., you were on TV saying, I'm not trying to hear he needs to wait to get cleared. That's it. He needs to play if he can play. Forget about waiting to get cleared. So you know what happened? AD played. It was a valiant effort, right? And you could see right away, everything you said is right about that. He should not have been out there on the floor. And by the way, it discombobulated the Lakers, having him out there. There didn't seem to be a plan if he couldn't play. Like, how are we going to play this? And so they quickly fell behind 20-plus points. And by the way, once AD was out and they adjusted and LeBron started taking over, they cut it to single digits. The team looked like they'd given up. They were going to get buried. They might lose by 40. It was close to 30 at one point. But they got it together, and they cut it to single digits late in the game. Maybe, if they don't play AD from the beginning, maybe they win. And by the way, what was the plan there? Because let's say AD could have played a little bit, and they won with AD, and they got to a Game 7. Now AD can't play at all. What was the point in even playing him in Game 6 when he was hobbled, clearly couldn't play, and it would have precluded him from playing in a Game 7, which you would have needed just as much? Did not make sense to me. He looks good. He went out there and gave it his best shot. He's just physically not built like LeBron. I don't think all the work in the world will change that. We look bad. We are all the ones saying, oh, he's got to play. Look how it turned out.
Well, first of all, Max, who is we? Because I never said that it was a must that he needed to play. Matter of fact, I was one of the guys, if you go back to the Golden State days when Kevin Durant played, that I said he didn't need to play. Why? Because he was still injured when Kevin Durant played with Golden State and he strained his Achilles. I said, don't play. You have nothing else to prove. And the same with Anthony Davis. We're talking about a guy who just came off of winning his first championship. What the hell do you have to prove to go out there and play hurt to the world? And then, hey, look, Charles Barkley calling the man street clothes. See, that's the problem that we have in today's game. Okay, that they didn't have back then, was that we have social media. We have so many outlets where these guys can see what people are saying about them to put the pressure on them to go out there for 5 minutes like Anthony Davis did last night and show the world that he was too hurt to play. This is not golf. This is not where you have a court where you can have somebody driving you around or you walk to a hole and swing some clubs or something. You need your legs. And the man clearly didn't have his legs. So in my opinion, when I look at Anthony Davis and look at what he did last night, it wasn't about the Lakers. It wasn't about trying to go out there and help his team win. He went out there to try to please people and show people that don't even matter. That don't matter. Like, you have nothing to prove to the world. Nothing. You just won a championship. And at the end of the day, I want to talk about this, Stephen A. To your point about Anthony Davis getting in the gym. You're 100% right. Because you're right there under LeBron James. He shows you on a day-to-day basis, a guy that been on the team with LeBron James, and watch how he operates and watch how he moves throughout the course of the day, taking care of his body, getting in the gym early, hitting the weight room, doing things to that nature, his diet and hiring in the chef. Anthony Davis, you have to elevate to that aspect.
Right.
This offseason is huge for him. You want to see a transformation in his body. Right. And Stephen A., you was dead on with that point.
But, and I appreciate that, KP, but in all seriousness, but that's why I was right to say what I said about how he needed to play last night. And when I say he needed to play, what I mean is go out there and try, and if you don't have it, you don't have it. I thought he stayed out there too long. I could see play one, he was grimacing. You see what I'm saying? So the minute I saw that, I would have yanked him. He wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes with me as the coach. I'd have had him out of there in the first 2 minutes. That's what I'm saying. But you had to go out there because of the very point that you just validated, KP. If you know you're not doing all that you could do to be in tip-top peak condition, then essentially, although unintentionally, you left your man hanging because you know he is. And see, this is the part about LeBron James where he does not get enough credit. And at times he is abused. LeBron James doesn't cheat the game physically. LeBron James is always ready to go. And so when you look at it from that perspective, how in God's name are you a teammate of a man? I don't care how great he is. How are you a teammate of a man that's 36 years of age in his 18th season and somehow, some way, he's consistently in better shape than all of y'all? Damn it, go to his house. He got a gym in there. He ain't gonna knock you for coming through. He ain't gonna knock you for wanting to go and work out with him if that's what you want to do. You want to find out who the hell his nutritionist is? If you're a teammate of LeBron James, just ask him. He'll tell you. You want to know who's training him? You want to know why he lifts weights or what he does to keep himself in peak condition? Ask him. He'll tell you, because to benefit yourself benefits him. Somehow, some way, we're not seeing that from somebody like an Anthony Davis. And that's the problem. And that's why he had to at least try to go out there, because you know that you didn't do what you could physically to be in tip-top shape. That's the point that I was making, KP.
I'm not disputing that there could be truth to that there's even more that AD can do. I will say that this is not Shaq and Kobe when Shaq postponed surgery on the toe and all that. And so then there was nothing very obvious like that. This is a more subtle point. But I would ask both of you, not to say AD should do everything he can to stay on the court. That's true. Even if AD did that, do you think he would be as healthy as LeBron usually? Like, AD is a tall string bean. You could put on muscle. It's the way he's built. He grew a foot in high school in a year, right? Went from a point guard to a center. That dude, to me, it seems, no matter what he does, he is not put together like LeBron. There are some dudes who are naturally, physically more injury prone. He's a champion. And he just went out and by the way, he came back. He wasn't 100% when he came back, and he was excellent. They beat the Suns late in the year behind AD, 40-something points. When he got into this series in a groove, you could see the Suns couldn't win. So, I don't know. I feel like he's taking a lot of heat for a dude who gave it his best shot.
Max, and this is the point where we're trying to educate you on why he has to elevate his game to another level.